in the sunlit cliffs of Malibu, where the Pacific breeze drifts through glass terraces and coastal wildflowers, lives one of pop's boldest spirits, Pink. Her home isn't just a retreat, it is a reflection of freedom, family, and that fearless energy she carries into every song. This is her sanctuary by the sea, where rebellion meets peace. Welcome to Pink's Malibu Retreat, a coastal haven built on passion, power, and heart. In a world full of noise and challenges, there was once a young girl trying to turn pain into strength and her voice into freedom. Alicia Beth Moore was born in Doylestown, Pennsylvania, on September 8, 1979. A small-town girl with a powerhouse voice and a spirit that refused to be tamed. Her parents' early divorce left wounds that never fully healed. But within those cracks, resilience began to grow. Music became her outlet, her rebellion, and her way to find herself again. By 14, she was sneaking into nightclubs around Philadelphia, singing with every ounce of hope and hunger she had. The nickname Pink came from her tendency to blush easily, but she turned that name into a symbol, one that would come to represent power, defiance, and an unbreakable will. At first, she chased her dream the traditional way. She joined an all-girl group called Basic Instinct, then another called Choice. They signed a deal with LaFace Records but broke apart before anyone ever heard their music. That could have been the end of it. But when the label told her she could stay, only if she went solo, Pink said yes. She wasn't afraid to start over. In early 2000, she released her first single, There You Go. It climbed to number 7 on the Billboard Hot 100 and gave her the first taste of fame. Her debut album, Can't Take Me Home, went double platinum and announced her as one of the most promising new pop voices in America. But even with all that success, she felt trapped by the machine that made her. The glossy pop sound wasn't her. She wanted grit, pain, truth. That truth exploded in 2001 with Misunderstood. She worked closely with Linda Perry, the songwriter who helped her dig deeper than she ever had before. Songs like Get the Party Started and Just Like a Pill weren't sugar-coated. They were messy, real, and raw. The album sold more than 13 million copies worldwide, making her one of the biggest artists of the early 2000s. For Pink, that record wasn't just success. It was liberation. But fame isn't a straight line. Her next album, Try This, 2003, was riskier and rougher, filled with punk energy that didn't always land commercially. She won a Grammy for Trouble, but critics wondered if she'd lost her way. Instead, she came back sharper. With I'm Not Dead in 2006, she called out the superficiality of pop culture with Stupid Girls, then bared her heart in Who Knew. The songs sounded like diary entries written in ink and sweat. From the pain of her breakup with Carrie Hart, she turned heartbreak into strength. The song, So What, was born as a bold declaration, soaring to number 1 and becoming an anthem of resilience. When the album Funhouse was released later that year, it stood as her musical manifesto, an unfiltered blend of hurt and inner power. The album went on to earn 11 platinum certifications, cementing her place as one of the most respected artists in pop rock. By the 2000s, Pink wasn't chasing hits anymore. She was shaping them. The Truth About Love, 2012, gave the world Just Give Me a Reason, her haunting duet with Nate Ruess, while Beautiful Trauma, 2017, and Hurts to Be Human, 2019, proved her staying power. Every tour got bigger, every stage more daring. She hung from the ceiling in silk ropes, spinning above thousands of screaming fans, singing live while suspended in air. It wasn't just spectacle. It was the story of her life, rising above, no matter what tried to pull her down. Her story became one of endurance, rebellion, and grace, written in platinum records and stadium lights. From rebellious teenager to global icon, she built a career on honesty, never hiding the scars that made her real. And when the music quiets, she retreats to a place that mirrors her perfectly, bold yet grounded, wild yet peaceful. Tucked along the sunlit coast of Malibu, her home is where the rebel finds her calm. Let's step inside the world she's built away from the spotlight. Pink's Malibu Retreat. House in Malibu. Nestled at the edge of the Pacific, where the tides whisper against the glass and the horizon stretches endlessly blue, stands Pink's Malibu home, a modern coastal masterpiece valued at around $13 million. With 3,000 square feet, 4 bedrooms and 5 bathrooms, it's less a mansion and more a personal refuge, designed for reflection, freedom, and family. The house rises from the shoreline like a sculpture of white and glass. Its clean, modern lines, soft French gray plaster, and wide paneled facades create a minimalist silhouette that feels both private and powerful. A discreet driveway leads to the entrance, shielded from Pacific Coast Highway. As you approach the arched steel front door, the sound of the surf grows louder until, with a swing of the door, the ocean appears in full view. At dusk, the home glows like a lantern over the water. Glass railings shimmer, and light spills across the private pool terrace below. Step inside, and the home opens up like a gallery of light. The living room greets you with soaring exposed beam ceilings and white oak floors, their grain glowing in the California sun. The furniture, soft linen sofas, woven chairs, pale wood tables, seems to float in the light. The palette is coastal minimalism, sand, ivory, driftwood, and whispers of gray. Beside it, the dining space carries the same calm rhythm. A solid oak table anchors the room, surrounded by woven rattan chairs. Across from it, a charcoal stone fireplace adds gravity to the airy design, a balance of fire and sea. A tall, rustic mirror leans casually nearby, reflecting both waves and warmth. This is where family dinners stretch into storytelling sessions and where laughter competes with the rhythm of the waves outside. The open kitchen is sophisticated yet casual, a place where elegance meets everyday life. At the center is a massive Italian limestone island, its surface cool and glowing under hanging glass lights. The alla cornu stove dominates the wall, flanked by floating stone shelves, displaying minimalist ceramics and fresh herbs. Pink often cooks here after a long trip. Barefoot, soft music, a glass of wine nearby, the sea breeze coming through the open glass doors. Upstairs, the primary bedroom is a sanctuary of stillness. White vertical paneling climbs to the ceiling, amplifying the height and airiness of the room. The bed faces an enormous picture window that opens to an upper deck, where 2 lounge chairs invite sunrise coffee and sunset contemplation. The ensuite bathroom continues the serene palette. Pale limestone floors, brushed brass fixtures, and a freestanding soaking tub that overlooks the water. Every detail feels meditative, every view intentional. The remaining bedrooms, each with their own spa-like ensuite bathrooms, are cozy yet airy. They carry the same soft palette, warm woods, layered textiles, and uninterrupted ocean views. The downstairs lounge area transforms into an entertainment retreat, with a built-in bar, cozy media seating, and floor-to-ceiling glass opening directly onto the pool terrace. Outside, the French gray plaster pool glistens just steps from the sand, its curved edges hugging the structure of the home. Daybeds and teak lounges line the terrace, softened with linen cushions. Overhead, the cantilevered balcony offers both shade and architectural drama. Beyond the glass railing, the Pacific rolls endlessly, close enough to scent the air with salt. This home is more than architecture. It's emotion rendered in glass, stone, and water. Designed with a minimalist modern coastal aesthetic, every surface feels organic. White oak floors, natural limestone, matte black hardware, and neutral textiles layered for warmth. The effect is calm but strong, much like its owner. And from this peaceful retreat in Malibu, Pink's story shifts from the sound of waves to the rumble of engines. Now, let's take a look at the cars that carry her spirit forward. Car collection. For Pink, the Range Rover is less about flash and more about balance, strength wrapped in sophistication. She first bought it after her daughter was born, wanting a car that could handle muddy trails one day and red carpets the next. Its all-wheel drive system and adaptive air suspension make it equally at home cruising along Pacific Coast Highway or winding through Malibu Canyon with the surfboards loaded in back. Today, worth around $130,000, this SUV stands as a symbol of her growth, her grit, and the freedom she's earned along the way. If the Range Rover is her everyday armor, then the Mercedes-Benz S550 is her quiet, luxurious space. This is the car she often drives with Carrie Hart late at night. Windows down, soft music playing, the lights of Los Angeles reflecting off the gloss black paint. Inside, the cabin is covered in premium Napa leather and brushed aluminum, giving it the feel of a private recording studio. Quiet, refined, and controlled. With a price tag of around $115,000, this car is a symbol of elegance and indulgence. How about you? Do you love this Mercedes-Benz S550? Comment below to share your thoughts. Pink's cars aren't just about luxury. They mark her journey of strength, freedom, and growth. And now let's shift from the road to the rewards. The fortune that powers Pink's world. Let's take a look at her income and net worth. Income and net worth. $250 million. That is the empire Pink built, not with quiet deals in boardrooms, but with a microphone, a harness, and a fearless dive from 30 feet above a stadium crowd. Her biggest financial chapter began with touring, the place where Pink truly reigns. Her beautiful Trauma World Tour alone grossed over $400 million, ranking among the highest-grossing tours by a female artist in history. Night after night, she flew across arenas suspended by cables, performing acrobatics while singing live, a spectacle no one else dared to attempt. Between 2017 and 2018, she pulled in around $50 million. The following year, she earned nearly the same again. Even when the world slowed down, her 2019 to 2020 revenue remained staggering at $45 million. These tours did not just sell tickets, they sold belief that raw honesty and physical power could fill stadiums. Music was the foundation of it all. Her debut album, Can't Take Me Home, introduced her to the world, but it was Misunderstood that made her rich, a mix of rebellion and confession that sold over 13 million copies worldwide. Later albums like I'm Not Dead, Funhouse, and The Truth About Love became gold mines, each spawning chart-topping singles and multi-million-dollar contracts. Over the years, she has sold more than 90 million records, earning both critical acclaim and consistent royalty checks that keep her bank account humming long after the stage lights fade. Pink's fierce individuality made her a magnet for brands that valued authenticity over polish. From T-Mobile to CoverGirl, from Sony Ericsson to Volkswagen and Polo, each partnership paid her millions while reinforcing her image as a rule breaker who could sell confidence as easily as she sells records. She did not just lend her face. She lent her voice, her message, that strength and vulnerability can coexist. Then came her personal investments, the quieter, smarter side of her empire. In 2013, she and Carrie Hart bought a 200-acre ranch in California's Santa Ynez Valley for $12 million. Surrounded by vineyards, oak trees, and open sky, it became both sanctuary and business. From it, they launched their boutique wine label, Two Wolves, turning their love for the land into yet another stream of income. Before that, they had sold their Malibu mansion for $12.5 million, a near break-even sale, but a smart move toward the more private, sustainable lifestyle they wanted for their children. Every dollar Pank earns is as powerful as her musical inspiration, her resilience, her purpose, and her heart. She built her career not by chasing trends, but by staying true to her voice and daring to turn her vulnerability into strength. But behind that financial empire lies something even more meaningful, a spirit that refuses to keep success to herself, her loving heart. Philanthropy. During the COVID-19 pandemic, after testing positive herself, Pank donated $1 million, half to the Temple University Hospital Fund in Philadelphia, where her mother had worked for 18 years, and half to the Los Angeles Mayor's Emergency Fund. Just months later, when wildfires tore through Australia, she sent $500,000 to local fire services. She said she felt a deep connection to the country that had always supported her tours and her music. Her commitment to children runs even deeper. As a longtime supporter of No Kid Hungry, Pank has helped raise over $2 million to fight child hunger in the United States. In 2017, she joined cycling fundraisers with her husband, Carey Hart, and in 2023, she auctioned soundwave artwork of her songs with Kelly Clarkson, raising $60,000 more for No Kid Hungry and Sweet Relief Musician Fund. Her belief in freedom and knowledge also led her to stand up for education. In 2023, during her Trust Fall tour, she partnered with PEN America to distribute 2,000 banned books at her Florida concerts, including The Hill We Climb and Girls Who Code. Her giving reflects who she is: strong, fearless, and deeply human. She uses the same energy that fills stadiums to fill empty hands, the same fire that powers her music to spark change in the real world. And that same spirit of love and authenticity carries into her personal life, where the global pop icon trades stadium lights for quiet mornings, family laughter, and the simple joy of being home. Personal life. These days, Pank's life is nothing like the chaos one might expect of a global superstar. Most mornings start quietly in Malibu, where the Pacific breeze wafts through the kitchen window, and her children, Willow, now 14, and Jameson, 8, are often the first to stir up some noise. Pank and husband Carey Hart have been together for nearly 2 decades, and despite their ups and downs, they've found a rhythm that works, a mix of love, humor, and mutual respect. Carey recently posted a photo celebrating their 19th anniversary on Instagram, writing that there's still no one else he'd rather spend the rest of his life with. Her family is her anchor. She spends as much time as she can with her children, helping Willow rehearse for a local theater performance or watching Broadway shows together whenever they're in New York. In one of their recent Girls' Nights Out, Pank, her mom, and Willow were spotted enjoying a Broadway musical, 3 generations sharing laughter and popcorn under the lights. That kind of simple joy is what she lives for now. Even when she's not on tour, Pank stays active. She balances workouts, songwriting sessions, and time outdoors. After a recent bout with E. coli, something she jokingly said she cured with friends' wine and stubbornness, she's been more mindful about rest and recovery. She now swears by her vitamin infusions, long walks by the ocean, and evenings spent barefoot in the garden. Her daily life moves between work and home with surprising normalcy. Some days, she's in her home studio, sketching out lyrics for future songs. Others, she's simply a mom in a hoodie, driving her kids to practice or baking banana bread. She still connects with fans online, posting funny, unfiltered moments. No makeup, messy hair, kids climbing everywhere, because that's her version of honesty. While her life still glows with fame, what defines Pank today is balance. A mix of Malibu sunsets, family dinners, Broadway nights, and laughter echoing through her ocean view home. It's the grounded, unfiltered version of the pop rebel we first met years ago. Still fierce, but now fueled by love, calm, and purpose. From the sold-out arenas to the quiet beaches of Malibu, Piank has proven that strength can be soft and fame can still be human. Her voice, her family, her fire, they all remind us that the real power lies in staying true to who you are. If this glimpse into Piank's world inspired you, make sure to hit that like button, share this video with your friends, and subscribe for more stories of stars who live life on their own terms. And tell us in the comments, what's your favorite Piank song that speaks to your heart?